Hey guys, today I want to show you my studio. I've been working on it for quite a while, mostly working on acoustics, getting that right, getting my setup in the right position. Yeah, doing a lot of measurements, building acoustic absorption material. So here it goes. First thing is is some absorbers here. They are made of wood filled with rockwool. It's about 15 centimeters thick, so it's mostly for the mid and high frequencies. They're above my head. I also have some here in the corner and in the other corner, because frequencies mostly concentrate in corners where the wall reaches the ceiling, etc., etc. I also have some panels in front of me, which you can see right here. These are a bit thinner, 7 centimeters, so that's just for the higher frequencies, for the first reflections. I'm sitting between two standing walls made of concrete, one here, one here. The distance between these walls is 6.8 meters, which means there is a frequency of 48 hertz. Well, if you translate that distance to frequency, you get 48 hertz. I've also noticed in measurements that there's a peak of around 46 to 48 hertz when I'm sitting exactly in the middle of the room, which I'm doing now. I put myself in the middle of the room because of the stereo imaging. It's best if the left and the right side of your room are kind of the same, so you get a more balanced stereo image. Well, this brought the 48 hertz issue. Well, this issue would also have been there if I would sit somewhere else, and then now it's a peak, but if I sit somewhere else it could also be a dip. What basically happens is that the frequencies bounce back off the wall, and they meet frequencies that are still being emitted by the speakers. If they are exactly the same frequency, they get duplicated, or if the phase has changed, basically one wave, they get cancelled. Well, I've been trying to mitigate that with some limp mass membrane absorbers. These you can see right here. It's the black and white boxes. A limp mass membrane absorber is basically a wooden or MDF box where one of the sides is not wood but is a limp mass, and this limp mass vibrates with the frequency, and the frequency with which it vibrates is determined based on how thick the mass is, but also how deep the box is. Well, I did some calculations, did some testing. I used rubber for this limb mass. Rubber is very heavy, so I didn't have to make the box too deep. It works, more or less. Not as good as I hoped, but it was an interesting experiment. I'm just leaving them here. Well, apart from that, the thing is that I could not mitigate this peak completely, not as much as I wanted with acoustic treatment, so I also used a digital equalizer, a MiniDSP, which I put after my audio interface, so between my audio interface and my speakers. I put in there and I used a dip of 48 hertz in that equalizer. And I must say that helps a lot more, actually. The thing with that is, of course, that it's only for the specific position that I'm in. If I'm in another place in my room, it might actually be worse. But well, I'm only sitting in this spot, so that's fine. Oh, there's my cat. Hello, cat. Yes, come here. So this is my cat, who puts up with listening to my music. Her name is Diva. She's definitely a diva. Say hi to the people. She's indifferent as always. Anyway, onto my gear. I have, let's see, speakers. I started out with the KRK VXT6. I don't have those anymore. I do have the KRK VXT4 here in white. They are mostly reference speakers. They don't have a lot of bass, so I can hear how my music sounds on systems with not too much bass. The other speakers are the Focal Trio6 BE. I haven't had them that long, maybe well, around a year now. They're amazing. I heard them in a studio once. Well, not once. I worked with them in a studio, a different studio, for a couple of months, and they are amazing. The price is also amazing, but well, they're worth it. Then we have, let's see, here you can see the Mackie big knob. This one right here, it's my volume control. Also, it has a mono button, so I can hear how my music sounds in mono. Let's see, I can switch between the two different speakers. This is the Novation LaunchControl. It's a simple MIDI device for on the road, just knobs and buttons. Works pretty well. And then audio interface. Here we have the Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. I've been working with that for years. It's definitely a recommended device if you have some more. If you have many devices to hook up, like many microphones or instruments, and things like that. Here we have the Novation LaunchKey, the 49 edition. I use it at home, but also on the road. If I go, well, sometimes I go jamming with friends. It's quite easy to carry along. Microphones, I have a measurement microphone here, the Behringer ECM 8000. I use it for the acoustic measurements. I have a Shure, what is it? The SM57. Use it for instrument recording, for my harp, for example. The thing with the harp is it has quite a large range, like a large frequency range. The SM57 doesn't pick up all of that, so I also have the Rode NT5, which I also am using right now to record my voice. I have my harp right there, and let's see, well, the MiniDSP, the equalizer I also have, but it's hidden below my screen. Finally, I also have the Boss ME80. Let me see if I can get it. There it is. It's a guitar pedal, but I use it for my harp to let's see. I use it for my harp to give some extra reverb, delay, and stuff like that when I'm playing. It's very nice to use live. When I'm recording, I try to record just the raw harp through the microphone. Yeah, so that's it for my studio. Hope you enjoyed. Next time I will talk a bit more about my productions, show you some of my productions. For now, a small sneak preview. I'm working with Propellerhead Reason. Currently working on a techno version of a track that I made before. This track is built completely from samples that I have recorded in the field, and it goes a bit like this. Yeah, that's all I can show for now. The rest is all very hush hush. So, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.